Welcome back to the channel Angle. I'm here with my colleague, Mark Haranas, who is the assistant news editor for CRN covering all things Google. Mark, what's going on in Google land, as you say?
Hey, Cass, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yes. Well, Google launches new products and new partners offerings almost every single day now. So keeping up with this as a partner is very difficult. I would love to give you some just highlights of what partners should be using right now if they want to succeed in the Google Cloud ecosystem. So I got the chance to chat with Thomas Kurian. He's the CEO of Google Cloud. And I point blank was like, what's the biggest push right now? And what's the biggest opportunities? And what should your partners be doing? And he said, quote, Agentic AI is the biggest opportunity for partners with billions of dollars of economic impact in terms of productivity from delivering these AI agents within customers. That's where we see the future. So right there, if you're a Google Cloud partner, you need to jump on Agentic AI, also known as AI agents, and Google is just firing off like new products every day and new support systems every day. So you have to be on top of Agentic AI. It's not just about workspace anymore or anything like that. It's about really Google's whole AI portfolio, specifically if you want to make money selling AI services. AI services is how Google Cloud partners will make money now and in the future.
Yeah. So that was billion with a B, right? Yeah.
Yes,
That's huge, right? Like, that's crazy.
it is. What's even crazier is sometimes these people say trillions, and I'm always a little afraid. Trillions is a lot of money, but trillions is the word that a lot of these big CEOs, including Google's, are throwing around now. So that trillions is a big pie that Google wants to go after with partners. Now let's just like go to some of the new tech, some of the brand new tech launched in April. They have a new developer AI kit. It's an open source framework that basically simplifies the process of building these complex AI systems. So it's a kit specifically for partners where a partner can build an agent with under 100 lines of intuitive code, which basically means they're giving you a kit to make AI agents really fast. That's one that just stands out that's different from all their competitors. Another one is Google prides itself. Anytime I ask Google, hey, what's your market differentiator versus AWS or Microsoft? They pride themselves in being open. Their technology can interoperate or work with any other AI systems, which is a differentiator. So they doubled down on that now, and they have this new, I guess you would call it open protocol. It's a tool called agent to agent. Okay, so what this does is basically enables AI agents to communicate with each other. So you built an AI agent. What if that doesn't work with your customer's AI agent? Google has built this called agent to agent protocol. So you can be working on an SAP agent, Salesforce agent, a Google agent, your own partner agent, and this tool makes them work together. This interoperability and openness is like what Google wants to be their segue to be the world leader in AI. And they're like, just keep on launching all this stuff that lets Google technology and partners technology work together with their competitors and other platforms. So those are two big things that partners can like buy right now and begin to start using it and just making AI agents fastest to make money off of.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about, being able to build your own AI agent. I think you said less than 100 lines of sort and having it be open, right? So many of the competitors in the market are making it so like you have to either buy in or you need certain certifications or you have to be able to have this type of expertise in order to make this work. And it sounds like Google is really trying to make it not only come to the partners faster, but make it more efficient for them. What else do you see coming down the pipe? Like, I mean, they have their big conference, which is always a huge deal. And, there's all these little tiny things that come out every single day. You said, I'm sure between now when we're recording this and when it airs, we're going to have some more things that you've covered on CRN. Do you have anything that you personally are super excited about that will help partners in the future?
Yes, the future, in my opinion, of cloud channel partners like Google Partners, AWS, is really these online marketplaces. So there's the AWS marketplace, the Microsoft marketplace, the Google Cloud marketplace. This is where customers from all over the planet can actually go to this marketplace and see a partner's AI agents, see it, find it, and buy it. Like, it's a whole new way partners are selling in the market because it's open to everybody. A customer you didn't even approach can find your AI agent on this Google Cloud Marketplace. So what Google did is they created this whole section called the AI Agent Marketplace that they just launched this week, mid-April. And it's a dedicated section where Google's going to highlight these partners' AI offerings. So customers that you weren't even looking for, if you have your AI agent on that marketplace, you might get a sales lead or, a new customer just from that. As one of the things about cloud cloud technologies is when you sign up for Google Cloud or AWS, you have to commit to spending money on the cloud. So if you are a Google Cloud or AWS customer or Microsoft customer, you say up front, I am going to spend this much amount of dollars. And then with that comes incentives and all good stuff if you commit. Now, Google is letting those customers spend their cloud commitments on partners' AI agents. So when a customer says, I'm going to spend $10 million on Google this year, they usually have a lot of extra money laying around. Where are we going to spend that? Google's letting them spend it now on partners' AI agents. So if a partner has an AI agent on this new marketplace, customers will be incentivized to buy those because they cut down on their cloud commitments. That contract they signed that said we're going to spend this much on a cloud. So it's basically letting partners, I guess, long story short,
Yeah.
like a customer can decrease their cloud commitments by buying a partner.
Buying into the AI. Yeah.
So that just it opens a lot.
And that's different. Like, I don't think anybody else is really allowing for that, right? As far as like a like almost trade for spend, right? Like everybody has like your initial buy-in and you've got to be able to allow for space for that. But being able to like trade or transfer those funds in a different way is kind of innovative, right? And it shows a commitment not just to the AI agent and the AI advancements, but to making it accessible for partners that they're already working with or even ones that they might not be working with currently, right?
Yes, it just incentivizes the customers who may not have ever saw this partner before, and incentivizes the customer to go buy a partner's AI agent offering. Google itself is, I kind of got a little exclusive, but maybe in May this news will already be out, but they've revamped their partner program to focus on co-selling with partners. It's a lot to just say that, hey, we're going to work with partners more, but Google execs just told me that the entire Google Cloud sales team across the globe are currently going through mandatory training on co-selling and services registrations for partners. So Google is really putting their money where their mouth is by training their own internal sales team on how to work and co-sell with partners. So like if you're a partner, you can reach out to your reps and, try to get that co-sell ball moving.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Well, that's exciting news. I'm sure everybody is already reading about it on CRN.com. Is there anything else, things that we were able to cover today about Google and their partner programs that are coming up through the end of the year?
A little scoop. It should
Little scoop.
a little scoop.
Tell me.
Google created an AI agent specifically for channel partners. So this is just for channel partners. So it's a support agent. So you can go to this agent and say, how much do I need to spend to reach the new partner tier? Everybody knows what partner tiers are. The higher tier you are, the better incentives you get. That will answer you 24/7. If you need to approve a statement of work, which every partner does, you can go to the support agent and it can approve your statement of works automatically. And it's on 24/7. So they created their own AI just for channel partners to answer questions about, how do I make more money? How do I get a higher tier? Will you approve this statement of work? You don't have to call somebody and wait anymore or email. You go to this AI agent, you put in what you need and say, hey, I'll submit for this statement of work, and it will approve it for you. So they're using AI to make channel partners more profitable. That's what they keep using. We're going to use AI internally to make channel partners more profitable. And this new AI support agent, which should be out in April, is really, again, just showing Google's commitment to channel partners. And so coming out of Google Cloud Next, it's new AI technology, new AI enablement for partners, and a whole new marketplace where they can sell to customers.
So much efficiency, so many great things happening. And it's still the first half of the year. So we still have a lot to go. So as you said, new things are coming out every day. We appreciate your hard work and keeping us all up to date. Thank you for joining me on the channel angle. And I'm sure we'll have more to talk to you about later in the year.
Thanks, Cass.
Absolutely. We just talked with Mark a little bit about Google and Google Cloud and all the things that are going on with AI and in their space. But it's always great to talk to a partner and see exactly what the solutions they are advising. So I'm here with Brooks. How are you today?
Well, Cass, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. Tell us a little bit about your role at Pythian and what you do there as the CEO.
Okay, great. Well, let's start with Pythian. So, yeah, I joined the company about a year ago. I've been in the kind of cloud ecosystem since, dating back to 2009. So quite a bit of time there. In fact, my last run was with another cloud services company that I ran for the past 5 years. So Pythian itself has been around for more than 27 years now. So we date back quite a ways to the original kind of database as a service type of offerings. So we had an excellent DBAs. We provided that skill sets to companies that were, mid-sized to large enterprise, and just kind of grew along that path for a long time. Over that time, we've kind of expanded our services to kind of stretch beyond data estate management to more into data analytics and now into kind of data-enabled AI. So it's really a fascinating time for the company with everything that's happening in the whole AI space, to be coming at that approach from the lens of, is the data ready, and how do we enable successful AI deployments?
Yeah, there's so many details that go along with getting companies AI ready. And I think for the average consumer, you just think you switch on something and it just like starts working. But there's organizations and people and infrastructure all behind it that make it work. So thank you for your hard work there.
Part of that, by the way, part of that statement is becoming true. It's probably something we'll talk about in the pod today. But it is becoming an interesting path to enable the AI features in the underlying applications that customers already have.
Yeah.
Something that Google has done quite well, for example, with their databases is, adding Gemini AI capabilities to their databases. And part of what we do now from a advice and consulting basis is go in and help companies kind of chart their journey to AI. And do they go down a build approach, or do they go down an enable approach, or do they go down more of the employee collaboration and productivity approach? So it's a really, really interesting time to be part of this.
Well, speaking of Google, I've got a few questions for you. You ready for those?
I am.
All right, let's do it. So Google's new AI marketplace, AI agent marketplace is really changing how things are sold, right? Mark told us a little bit about that in the pre-roll. How are you all preparing your offerings in that space? And is there any advice that you would give to people who are either in the Google marketplace right now? And how are you all specifically rolling out their AI agents in their marketplace?
So we're very focused on the new offering they have called Agent Space. So Agent Space is, well, if you went to Google Next last month, probably not a surprise that everything was AI, but more so everything was agents. So agent, agentic AI, AI to AI now protocols and standards and people making connectors and et cetera. Where we're really focused is on probably two things, and that being, one is we also launched our own agent space service offering back to back with Google. So that just went GA recently, as you know, from Next. And that we're really focused on enabling kind of the employee productivity piece of agent space first and foremost. So agent space is essentially enterprise search that is now tailored to the kind of knowledge and data repositories of a company. So it does a nice job of you access and connectors into these different data stores. So it could be Salesforce, it could be Slack, it could be O365 or SharePoint, it could be Google Drive and all the Google apps. So they have these pre-built connectors that go into all those data stores.
Mhm.
and they connect to the web, which Google does very well. So Google is bringing their enterprise search capabilities to companies and enabling them to much more easily access that enterprise knowledge. So if, for example, we've deployed this internally, if I have a question about a customer, I can go back and just type in the customer. It'll go not only to Salesforce and tell me the opportunities, but it'll go into Confluence and tell me, what we've done as far as our services that we've deployed there in the past. It'll go in and tell me the inventory of what, they have. It'll go into Slack and tell me communications that my team has had on those projects. And it brings all that together with Gemini then in a very kind of thoughtful way as it lays it out. I think the coolest thing about Agent Space as well is it shows you where the sources of those data are coming from. In fact, that you can also prioritize that. But so if I want to go first to Salesforce and then to Confluence and then to Slack, I can order it as such and tell it the most important data source for something related to customers is going to come from Salesforce.
Wow.
But you don't have to do that. It has its own in native intelligence that's built in. And it's really, really interesting. And we, I'd say from a success as a partner in the space, especially like as an MSP, services partner, we have over 20 opportunities already. So it's just in the past month that we've been able to kind of bring out what we call our Agent Space Quick Start and very rapidly, impact our pipeline for the quarter. It's one of those things that is just so compelling and obvious when a customer sees it that they're like, okay, and it gives them a great way to kind of start by say, okay, what's this all about? And they do it in a very kind of secure way. So they take your security credentials, your ACLs, and they actually roll those down through. So as a CEO, I can see what I have access to
Right.
in those data estates. But say someone as a seller on my team could only see what they're restricted to being able to see based on the access controls. So it's things like that. It's a great platform. It's innovating incredibly quickly. So we're seeing a lot of new connectors come out every day, first party and third party connectors. And it's been a great offering from that perspective. So long story, what we've been focused on agents is really getting agent space in the hands of our customers first and foremost. That does give us an opportunity then to go do bespoke agent development work as well through the kind of Vertex model garden. So we think phase one is getting agent space stood up with the standard connectors. Phase two is going to be us building out the specific custom connectors for customers based on, whatever bespoke that they're going to need for their data.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. Google really just revamped their partner program to really enable you all and really double down on a co-selling model. So how are you all navigating this shift? And, I guess the bigger question is, what does effective co-selling look like from an MSP perspective in the channel today?
I mentioned I've been around the ecosystem since 2009. I've worked with all the hyperscalers and have been through various iterations of their co-sell strategies. In fact, I've been around this with Google a couple times before as well. I think they really hit it on the head this time.
Mm-hmm.
Where we are now.
Ooh, you said this time. It makes it sound like last time. It wasn't so much a hit.
No, I think it's. I think we've gone through multiple kind of evolutions of this. First generation was a lot of focus on resale. So getting partners to take down commits to drive consumption of Google Cloud or AWS or Azure. So there's a big phase there where it was all focused on resale and consumption. They were getting out pretty healthy margins to help, service partners kind of build a resale model. Well, that value is now shifted significantly or almost totally to services-led partners. Really looking for partners that have service capabilities to add to, to implement it like a integration type partner, so we can take their technologies and implement them for customers and drive customer value. That's where the game is now. So that took a big shift from asking partners to kind of co-sell and build business models based on, margin of resale. I'm sorry, a resale model based on margins of resale, to now really co-sell, but from the perspective of where the value-added services that I bring to Google to help them be successful with their customers. So that new co-sell model they have is all about, driving service attach for partners, which we're a services company. We do a little bit of resale, so we have a view of that, but we're mainly a services-led company. And for that, it's a great time to be in the Google ecosystem if you're an MSP.
Yeah. So you mentioned Azure and Microsoft. So for someone who or MSP who's weighing AWS, Azure, Google, what's your straight talk answer? I know you all offer a couple of different things. So and it seems like you're doing great with especially getting so many new leads in the last month, you said. So what is your straight talk answer? Why should someone choose Google or something like that over another product?
So from our perspective, it was a pretty straightforward choice. So one is I do have a perspective that you really do need to choose one partner, one hyperscaler to go to market with. If you try to be multi-cloud and go to market with all three, you won't get traction with any of them because of their field sales. They're looking for partners that are committed to that specific hypervisor or that specific hyperscaler, and they want to see that commitment. Maybe if you're a global SI like an Accenture, you can build out global practices at scale for all three. But for anybody that would be an MSP or a regional SI, I think you have to choose a horse. For us as a data partner, it was pretty obvious, which horse to choose. Google's always had the strongest kind of data stack in the market. I know they may be the third largest cloud per se. I mean, I know they're growing fastest, but they may be the third. They've always been the first cloud from a data perspective. Now what they're doing with AI as well is it's really unrivaled. It's not even against the hyperscalers, but even against OpenAI or anyone else. No one has the full stack from infrastructure to network to, well, they have 7 different services that are consumers with 2 billion users each. Yeah, enterprise search to their own now TPUs and GPUs to Vertex AI to BigQuery to, and now Agent Space at the top. Nobody has that. I mean, you have DeepMind on the side doing pure research, which is doing some fascinating things. So from a data perspective and an AI perspective, I think that is the obvious choice. And just to be clear, we only go to market at Google.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
from a traditional data management, we support over 45 different platforms, including the other hyperscalers. So we do manage data environments for customers across different platforms. But from a kind of migration, modernization, and a go-to-market perspective, it's only with Google.
Yeah. Great. It's good to know. Thank you for clarifying that. So one of my areas of expertise here at CRN is inclusive leadership. We talk a lot about how businesses can grow. What does organizational development look like, especially as you're trying to work both in the business and on the business? For some of these smaller MSPs trying to maybe even keep up with the rapid pace of innovation. So what emerging trends or technology are you watching for as you all continue to grow, not just your go to market with Google, but just your business model overall and new offerings that you're bringing?
So the main focus for us now is just trying to be innovations coming around AI. It's fast and furious right now. I believe that, we're not going to worry as much about the underlying, say, models and LLMs as we are going to be looking at like an abstraction of a service layer above that and how, if we can deliver what we call practical AI services for customers now. I mean, I really think that's the name of the game for us is how do you distill down with all of the hype that's going on and all the potential complexity of the technology itself? How do you help a customer chart that path in a navigable way where they can come to value sooner than later with more assurance that they're actually going to have success? So we've seen a ton of failures because people have tried, I think, to go a step beyond what's really practical right now. And so there's false starts or there's a lot of proof of concepts that fail. And there's this, disillusionment now and then kind of a pause and hesitation. We're doing very good with what we call our advisory service, which we started back in September. So we brought together 6 of the best kind of AI minds in the industry, I believe. Ex CTOs, ex CIOs, ex CISOs, ex CDOs. And we basically help go to a customer and say, okay, we have a 1-day workshop, which is basically an education. What's AI? What if not? Where can you start? What do you think about from governance and organizational design and security? And then we actually help them distill down to a use cases that 5 different applications of, hey, here's where you may want to think about starting. And then there's a follow-on to that. There's more like a week, which is a workshop to help define the business value and return on investment or the business case, help them actually get started with that proof of concept and get actual tangible results back. Great so far.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of the point of the spear for us, which is leading to not only AI engagements themselves, bespoke AI build use cases, like what we did with, Dan Ross from a, logistics and trucking perspective, or Wayfair for their, tagging and dimensions and things like this. But it's also doing a lot of pull through of data estate management. The core business for us, which is let's make sure you have your data ready to support this, because 9 times out of 10, the very first, aha moment is, oh crap, I've got work to do on just looking at
Cleaning up the data. Yeah.
And so that's been kind of the yin and yang of those kind of discussions.
Yeah. So is there anything else that we need to know about you or about y'all's business model or you as a CEO? I know you've got a lot of things going on. You've got big meetings and big things happening in the second half of the year. Is there anything that you want our audience to know about Brooks?
I would say it's a fun time right now. Through my career, what I've been I hate to say 35 years plus, out there now, I've run several, PE-backed companies, mid-stage tech growth companies, in all sorts of kind of, new initiatives around technology. What's happening now is really unprecedented from that perspective. But it's also the most fun because we have the most opportunity. Will we be successful? I hope so. Will we have fun making a run at it? That's, once in a lifetime type of thing. Damn straight, we're going to have fun.
Absolutely.
Taking a shot at it. And what I've been able to do, I think, in the year here at Pythian is really build a culture that is rallying around that. Let's take advantage of the opportunity in front of us. And I have been blessed, by the way, with the private equity firm and Mill Point Capital that's supported the investments we wanted to make. So for example, to build out the advisory practice and to hire all these kind of AI, leaders and bring together that squad into our team. We've also been able to attract great people with the shift from that kind of resale business into the service business. So as the resale-oriented partners have kind of gone through some turmoil with recasting their business models to account for the lower margins in resale, we've been able to really attract great people who say, hey, we're growing in the services AI-led business right now, and it's a fun time, and come and do something fun with some great people, and let's see where it goes. So that's been the spirit of the company right now, and it's probably the most fun I've had in my career is, in any opportunity is, just taking a run at this and seeing if we can be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brooks, for your time and for talking with us at the Channel Angle. I look forward to seeing you in person real soon. Good luck with all your meetings in the second half of the year, and I'll just catch you online.
I've always been a big fan of CRN. I have to be honest. I have to say it was humbling for Mark to put out an article calling us a Google star. So it was funny to see that in print, but it did make me smile. So thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.